Yeah, absolutely excited to have Hana Eid on the podcast today. How have things been going for you?
Things have been well since I last saw you at South by. Yeah, just been working a ton, writing a ton, gearing up for tour in a couple weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah, but kind of enjoying having some time to at least be in my own room back in Nashville and chill for a little.
right. Yeah, no doubt that having a space you could kind of go back to and decompress and be a part of is always nice. Usually where I like to start is like growing up, what music were your parents listening to? And then when you developed your own ear, so to speak, what were you listening to?
Okay, wow, this is an exciting question. My dad is a musician, and I I actually grew up, like, listening to so much music that looking back, I'm like, "Wow, I don't really know how I got from there to here." I
Right.
listened to a lot of he showed me a lot of Fish,
Okay.
Snarky Puppy, also in the realm of jam bands,
Yeah.
Rush, Led Zeppelin, Dave Matthews Band. I'm from Virginia, so Dave Matthews Band is, like, quintessential Virginia legend.
Okay. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, and then when I started, like, listening to music and trying to write songs when I was, like, 8 or 9 years old, I was big into Ed Sheeran, like, I'm very and you know what? And I would still even say that I'm all about Ed Sheeran. The recent records haven't been doing it for me, but I think his old stuff, like, the first 2, maybe even yeah, really just the first 2 albums, I think they really stand up, and then also a lot of Taylor Swift, classically.
Okay. Yeah, of course. Those feel uh yeah, I don't want to say like quintessential to, growing up at times, but I feel like everybody went through, when I was a kid, she was only doing debut, like that's when I really was like I'll still, bang Tim McGraw every now and again,
Yeah,
just
oh
for
my
fun.
god, yeah, totally.
So, and it's funny. She actually, a random grew up like 40 minutes down the road from where I'm from. So, it's always a fun tidbit to tell people that I,
Oh,
grew up
wait, where are
somewhere
you?
near here. I'm from like small town Pennsylvania, outside of. It's like if you know where Yingling's made, that's where I'm from. That's usually how I like to describe it to people.
Okay.
That's usually the only way people understand where I'm from. It's Schuylkill County, Pennsylvania, um, and it's small town living to say the least. When it's funny you've went from jam bands to very singer songwriter, kind of feel, but I feel like you're like what when you have a full band with you, it kind of leans more into that like indie rock phase, place. Is that like the two spaces kind of meeting in the middle, or do have you been like a listener of indie rock in general?
Yeah, definitely. I think, like, when I came to college, most of the stuff I was doing when I was, like, an earlier teenager and in high school was very singer-songwriter just 'cause I never played with other people ever, barring, like, I guess my dad and his friends once or twice ever.
Right.
But I'd never played with, like, people my age until I moved to Nashville for college, and then once I started playing with a band, it was just, like, super exciting, and I've always loved rock music. There's such a great, like, indie alternative scene in Nashville.
Yeah.
I've always loved, like, shoegaze and slowcore and, all the iterations of that, all have different names now. But I yeah, I think, like, once I started playing with other people, I was kind of just like, "Let's" like, there's so much possibility sonically that I, like, hadn't tapped into when I was still in high school that
Yeah.
really excited me, and, yeah, I still feel that way now. I love getting to, like, arrange things in different ways and, get heavier and rock out a
Yeah.
little harder.
Yeah, and I think that's, like what's funny, that's, like, one of the things I learned about Nashville, like, having visited is that, yeah, that indie, like, alternative scene is bigger than people, I think, realize in Nashville, like, people just assume it's this, giant country space, and rightfully so, but, yeah, there's also a big, like you said, indie alternative space there too that's really seems to be doing really well.
Yeah, totally. I completely agree. I mean, yeah, there's so much awesome music here, just
Right.
across all genres. It's really nice.
Yeah. So, you're off, like, an album release, geez, 8 months ago ish, if my math is correct, 6
Yeah,
months
wow,
ago,
I guess
somewhere in
that's
there.
yeah.
So it's called Trains Running Backwards. I would just, maybe kind of walk me through some of, the themes that went into this and the, what kind of, um, how you kind of feel now that it's, been a little bit of time removed from releasing it.
Yeah, totally. I famously write from a very, like, stream of consciousness sort of standpoint, so a lot of the writing, wasn't I'm never I mean, at least for this, at least not yet, I've never written to, like, a concept or a theme in particular, and always just kinds of uh, I always just kind of, like, later on find ways to tie things together that feel, thematic. I mean, I guess, like, the common theme is always that it's, like, just me, like, explaining, like, what I'm going through, like, very
Right.
candidly. A lot of it is about a lot of it is about I mean, I wrote the majority of the songs for that record between the ages of 19 and 21.
Yeah.
I'm 23 now for reference. Yeah, a lot of it was, like, I had, like, just dropped out of college. I was, like, I don't know, like, being kind of a grown-up for the first time, and, navigating relationship, learning how to live with roommates, like, just learning, how to make dinner for myself at night,
Right.
it's just yeah, like, so a lot of the songs are really about that and kind of and tied through, in that way, and having some
Yeah.
space from having released it, um, does feel nice. I will say I write a lot, and I'm very, like I don't have, like, a great attention span maybe is what I'm getting at, like, I write so much, and I'm so excited about what I'm writing that I'm, like, immediately trying to, like, catapult myself into the
Mm.
next thing,
Yeah.
and it's, like, hard for me to, like, sit with a body of work and, like, really enjoy it and really appreciate it because I'm already thinking about, like, "Oh, I just did this thing, like, why don't I, like, I wanna do this now," and, like,
Right. Right.
whatever, but, like, I listened obviously a lot when it first came out, when we were doing the mixes and getting the masters and whatever, and then
Yeah.
listening now I probably listen back to it, like, every few weeks, maybe, and I don't know, I think it's an awesome album. Like, I think,
Yeah.
like, all of the anxiety I had around putting it out and, like, how people, would perceive it or if, all, like, these anxious feelings that I had, I've had space from them now and they've kind of gone away, and now I listen to it and I'm like, "This actually rocks," and it's so
Yeah.
honest and it's just so me, which feels great.
Yeah. I love that. The ability to take space from it and come back and feel maybe even better about it is like it's amazing, genuinely.
Totally.
I think after listening through it, I think my favorite song off of it is one called Waldo. I just love maybe the background on that one.
Oh my gosh, thank you. Yeah, I do really love that song. That's my roommate's one of my roommate's favorites
Yeah.
also. Mhm.
Mm. So what's like the in terms of your stream of consciousness or, thoughts in general, what does that one in particular kind of reference to?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, that one was like like pretty I mean, that actually was sort of particularly about like, to put it, like, frankly, it was kind of just about, like, me getting ghosted, and then I was, like, equating that to playing, like, Where's Waldo? Because like, I guess I was, like, seeing I was, like, seeing this guy and, to me, we're, like, fully in the thick of it, and then he just, like,
It's
disappears, and
just
I was like,
gone.
"Okay, no worries." But, yeah, that song is, like, pretty much about that, but I did kind of write it in, like, 10 minutes in one sitting, and I was just kind of like, "Man, like, what is going on?" And then yeah,
Right.
that's
Yeah.
that.
That's
But
so
that one
funny.
that's nice because that one actually has, like, a story.
Right. Yeah, no worries. We'll talk never.
Yeah, exactly.
In terms of, your writing process, you talk that you write a lot. Do you do any collaborative writing or is it mostly kind of you on your own?
Sometimes I will co-write, and I want to do more of it. I do wanna do more of it because I think it's a muscle that I could afford to exercise, but for the most part, I do write by myself, and for my artist project, I really prefer to write by myself. But also, like, I think, like, that's also kind of just a narrow-minded take. Like, I'm sure if I met, okay, for the album, for example,
Mhm.
this is the like, writing Noah, who produced the majority of the album, we ended up finishing and co-writing a few of the songs, and that was, like, so wonderful. That's the only time
Yeah.
anyone has really ever written on my artist project, and that collaboration was so wonderful that I'm sure that I totally could have people write on my project. I do
Yeah.
like to write on other people's stuff, though, when they'll let me. I think that feels like somehow easier for me to, I get out of my own head a little.
Yeah. It's, I mean, I get the idea of wanting to, like, protect, your artist project and something you hold, dear and near, and, I think that makes total sense. Is there, and I'm taking assumptions here, is there stress or pressure in having an artist project in your, like, actual name? I always ask people who are, like, solo artists, like, if they like, "Do you wish you had, like, a stage name?" Or I don't know if it is a stage name, maybe I'm just assuming.
No, it's totally my
Right.
real name.
Is there, like, an extended pressure there by, like, doing a whole project or, being an artist in your actual name?
Um, you know, no, I don't think so for me. I think, there's so many things that I care about and so many, facets to me as a person, and, I like that, my music is attached to my name because that's such an important part of who I am amongst all of the other things that make me who I am. But I will say also if I, were to start an artist project today, I would probably, give it I love, all of the cool, one-liner names.
Right.
I would totally, I would name my artist project like I would name a band,
Yeah.
just because I think that's so fun. But I definitely don't feel stressed by my artist project being attached to my name. I like my artist project.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, no, I've talked to a couple who are like, "Man, I wish I, had picked something different other than my name," like, and it's a funny thought that, like, having it completely be different. Like, even for me, like, I'm just my last name isn't Fuegostein by any means, but, like, it's pretty close and it's attached to, like, a college nickname, and it's such a weird space. I think nowadays I would pick something different, but I'm so far into it, like, I'm just not going to at this point. Um, so
It's
in
all
in
you gotta keep it.
uh, in terms of, when it comes to producing the album and, was it, you talked about producing with Noah. Is it, are you very hands-on in the production or kind of more leaning into their ability to make it how you want it?
I would say I'm super hands-on. I am, very when I write a song, I pretty much know how I want it to sound, when I write it, especially when because I'm writing, the songs for my artist project end up being, indie rock songs for the most part. I'm hearing, what it is going to sound like in the context of,
Yeah.
so yeah, I would say I'm super hands-on. I recorded, I wanna say the majority of the guitars for the album, and, some of some of the bass. I think I did, the bass on Waldo, low key, that might have been
Yeah.
the only one. Um, but I'm yeah, I mean, a lot of it we were also, running the guitars through my pedal board. We had my friend Levi remote tracking drums, so that was we were both, super hands-on in kind of, articulating, those ideas. But yeah, I'm very particular about what I want generally.
Yeah.
I love a new idea, but I certainly know and I love evolving on an idea, but I certainly, know where to start, I think, and I really like to I like to be playing on all of my songs also. That is, a non-negotiable for me. I, need to be to
Yeah.
me, I'm I and I grew up playing guitar, my whole life. I'm I need to be playing on all my on any song
Yeah.
I
It
make.
makes sense.
I need to be all over it. But yeah, I would say I can be a little bit of a control freak at times, I think, but I love it.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, we're back to, like, it's your project. You want to, have the space to do what you want. And I think that makes complete sense. In terms of, like, being in, indie artist, kind of working through, jobs and traveling for shows and things like that. How do you balance all of that? And, what's like the hardest piece in terms of that balance?
Dude, I mean, it beats me. Well, the ways that I manage it, I'd say, I'm a big Google Calendar user. I love a to-do list. I have sort of a type A brain, and I really operate well on, like, a to-do list or, like, a deadline. That really,
Mm,
like, works for me.
yeah,
If I, like, have a bunch of things and I don't know when I need them done by, and I don't know, like and I don't have them all written out for me, it's like nothing's ever getting
not
done.
a, yeah, yeah, I feel that. Yeah,
Um, like, that's all ways I kind of help myself. The hardest thing to ba I mean, it's hard to balance, I guess, just, like, the leaving town. I love going on tour, but leaving town is hard to negotiate, like, with my job. I also have a pet rabbit, so I, like, always have to make sure that there's, like, someone that can look after her, and she's kind of I'm, like, looking at her right now. I love the girl to death. She is kind of high maintenance. But yeah, I mean, I guess just having, like, such an inconsistent schedule is all around sort of hard to manage, but I love it. But also the thing is I love it, so it works out.
yeah, a little bit of love in the chaos. I get it. In terms of the social media side of being an artist, where do your thoughts lie? How do you approach it? What is is it a evil that's necessary, or you genuinely kind of find joy in it?
Um, I think probably my philosophy around that is if I'm gonna be doing something every single day, I need to, like, find a way to make it enjoyable. Um,
Hmm.
I wouldn't say social media is something that comes naturally to me or something I'm, like, naturally drawn to, and I don't even necessarily believe that it's, like, necessary for everyone, but I think, like,
Yeah,
for me, because I want this, career in music so badly, I think for me, I have to, like, exhaust all of my options. Like, I don't mind doing the social media thing because that's, like, one way I can get exposure. It's not, like, my preference, but I
right.
don't mind doing it because it just feels like it can only really help me. But yeah, I'm, like, trying to find ways to enjoy it. I really like editing videos, and I like filming longer form stuff. Some of, like, the short form kind of, like, attention grabby stuff doesn't really, like, connect with me, but, I'll do it every once in a while, and that's fine. I think social media is, like, great in some ways and terrible in others.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a big probably not in the same way that you're thinking, like in terms of edits. I got like random, all of Star Wars edits on my page, like, random anime edits. Like I'm all over the place with those types of things in music. But it's funny because it's turned into this like, you know, such a big arm of the music industry in general that it's like, it's a requirement for artists to be on it, to be doing the thing, and I always tell everybody like it's not something I would envy. I don't envy being like watching you guys having to, make art, manage schedules, do all this other stuff, and then on top of it try to be an influencer. It's such a weird space.
Right.
Feels a little icky at times, and yeah, just something that, yeah, I don't I wish there was a better way about it, but I don't know if there, I'm thinking through all the errors or eras of music promotion. I guess that's kind of happened. Like we've gone from playlisting to like this insane, hopefully you get lucky viral moment type deal, but it's a weird space to be in, to say the least. um in terms of, I always love asking this one. If you were teaching a music class, and you had 4 or 5 albums that were required listening based on your taste, what would those 4 or 5 albums be?
Oh my god. That is a hard question.
Yeah,
For a music class? I mean, oh man. Okay. I'm just gonna kind of go, like, stream of consciousness
yeah,
with
go
it,
for it.
and we're gonna have to be gracious because these might not be my best answers
Right.
ever.
Yeah.
Deceiver by Dive, one of the best, like, alternative shoegaze albums ever. Future Perfect by Autolux, that's been my album fixation as of recent. They're this just phenomenal shoegaze band. None of my friends that are into shoegaze know about them. I'm also imagining I'm teaching a music class to, like, my friends, and I just wanna show.
Right. Yeah, you're good.
Oh, man. Let me think. What I mean, like, I want, like, a good, like, country album in there. Can I consult my iPhone? Can I see
You
what I
could
have
do
saved?
whatever you'd like, yeah. The
Okay, thank
internet is ever waiting to rip
I, like
apart your choices.
I'm like, I know I've been listening to stuff that isn't those 2 albums. I need to start, having, like, a little bit of depth, like, or range.
Right.
Range. Certainly, I have depth.
Yeah.
Um, okay. I mean, you know what? Okay. You know what? I'll go ahead and I'll give this take. Addison by Addison Rae. I think it is a phenomenal pop album, and I hate when people compare her to Trina Vega from Victorious. I think I think it's a phenomenal pop album, and also I think artistically her rebrand needs to be studied. If you ever think that you can't change, you can.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's so inspiring. Her
Yeah.
entire, like, persona is so inspiring. Oh, songs by Adrian Lenker. That should have come
Mm.
up. That's, like
Yeah.
that is just, like, one of maybe the best albums ever. Um, Yankee Hotel Foxtrot by Wilco. Yankee Hotel Foxtrot, Wilco. Um, and I'll go ahead and throw in a personal favorite. Molly Velasquez's I think it's her self-titled or it might not be her self-titled. Um, it's called I'm Green. Sorry, it's not her
Okay.
self-titled.
You're good.
That album is maybe the best album ever, and those are gonna be all of my draft picks. Sorry.
Love it. Yeah, love it.
I got
Uh,
really excited for a second.
yeah, no, you're good. The internet will decide if you're right or wrong, and that is the amazing part about the internet.
Yeah, and please be gentle with me. Internet.
It is such like it's a really hard question to just like drop on somebody, but it's always the best part about it is it's like I don't think I've heard the same album twice in it, so it's a fun question to ask.
Love that.
So and then we'll go into in terms of your discography, what song are you most proud of?
Man, of my whole discography? That's a that's a
It's a
great
tough
question.
one too. Yeah.
Um, I think most proud of. I really love Bet from the new album. I mean, Weird is my most popular song, but I think it's just, like, really held up in a way that
Hmm.
is nice for me. Like, when I listen to it, I'm not like, "Ew." Like, there's some other songs I listen to from, like, my older stuff, and I'm kind of like, I would never write this now, you know?
Yeah.
But Weird is really held up for me, and Bet I just think is, like, an awesome song. And
Yeah.
I Love Stare.
Mhm.
I don't know. Maybe I'll say Bet right now.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. I mean, I think, yeah, I mean, to be able to look back and like feel like you wouldn't write something like that now, just, that's good growth though, right? As a person and as an artist. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And then obviously, I live my life in music curation. So I always ask, an artist or a project or a song that you've been really into recently.
Um, I've been listening to Operator by Jim Croce
Hmm.
recently. Been
Yeah.
listening to that song, which not that he needs, like, my endorsement, but
Right.
I've been loving that song recently. Um, oh my god, I feel like Sugarless by Autolux, I've been listening to that a ton. I feel like there's something really particular that I was listening to recently by Game of Pop. I'll just say those
Okay.
2. Yeah,
Yeah.
2 bands that really don't need my endorsement, but,
It's okay. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. And then, just kind of wrapping up, like what else do you have coming up? Are you working on, sounds like you're working on more new music, you have a tour coming up. What do you got? What's on the horizon?
yeah, I am touring, opening for Foxtide, in, like, mid to end of May, which I'm super excited about. And then, yeah, I've been writing a lot and kind of, getting things together for, whatever comes next. but just kind of writing a lot. I've been making my little demos
Yeah,
sending them around and posting on Instagram.
love it.
Lots of big
Yeah.
things on the docket.
Well, hey, it's okay. Well, I appreciate you taking time out of your morning to talk to me, and can't wait to hear what you got coming up next. And yeah, good luck out on tour.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on the podcast.
Yeah, absolutely.